it's Frances, and you probably know me as a speaker, piano player, songwriter, author. But I want to share a little bit more behind the scenes about the duo that I'm part of, called Double Keyed. You've probably heard me speak about the iceberg theory. Psychologists use it where what we see above the surface is 10% of what's really going on, and then there's the 90% underneath the surface. So you're probably seeing lots of 10%, like what we're working on, who we are, dates, requests for help, that kind of thing. But I want to share with you the things going on underneath the surface. And this is always the most exciting part about any journey that we take when we step out to pay attention to the things that our heart whispers. And so I'm going to tell you about Double Keyed. I'm going to tell you about MS Fit Effect, about London Symphony Orchestra, Abbey Road, and us. So here we go. Stay tuned. So let's talk about the 10% above the water before we get into the 90%. Who is Double Keyed? We are a piano, oboe, English horn duo. We play classical crossover music. We met in 2014 because of a Christmas show that I was doing, and we hired an orchestra and we hired an oboist, and Kirstin was in that orchestra, and we played together in that show for 5 years. And then we decided to do something outside of that, and we started playing together at a local hospital just for fun. It was a part of an artist program that I was part of called Center Stage, and they hired musicians to come in and play in the hospital lobby for families and patients and doctors and nurses. And Kirstin saw that I was posting that on Facebook and that I was going and doing that, and she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'd love to play with you sometime there." And so as it turns out, we went through an audition and we started playing there together, and we were having a great time. And then the pandemic hit, and fast forward to 2021, after Christmas, Kirstin was baking cookies, listening to streaming music, and going, I don't hear much piano and oboe Christmas arrangements out there. Maybe I should do a recording, and if I would do that, who knows how to record, and how would I do that? And so she thought, Frances and I play together. Frances knows how to record. This is her story, at least, her side of the story. And so she texted me and said, "Hey, Double Keyed should do a Christmas album together." And I think she was just like dreaming outside, thinking outside the box. And me, Frances, was wondering what I was going to do for the next 6 months of my life as I regroup after every holiday season from my big Christmas show that I was doing. And it just immediately appealed to me. And I said, I would love to do an album together. And in my brain, we would need to sit down and plan all the details. And so I said, let's get together for coffee. And next thing I know, Kirstin and I were on this ride together. We picked an arranger, we picked a producer, we picked the studio where we would do it. And it just unfolded into this beautiful album we called Midwinter's Gift, arranged by Philip Kevrin in Nashville, who had done some Christmas arrangements for us before and for me for my Christmas show. So we really liked what he did, and we connected with him, and he said, I would love to do a project like that. And we were off and running. And so August of 2022, we did a Christmas album together and released it. And next thing we knew, not long after we released it, we ended up on Billboard chart in the classical crossover section at number 13. We were so excited. And then we got an award in Central Pennsylvania for our classical crossover Christmas album. And we just kept working together. We kept taking bookings together, noticing that audiences loved the music we were playing. And of course, we loved playing together. And it called out a part of my music roots that I'd kind of laid aside to do the songwriting and singing thing and Christmas show thing. So it was very satisfying to do this with Kirstin. And then I got an idea and I put it out there to Kirstin because I sensed that both of us loved what we were doing and we wanted to do another recording, but what would that be? And I had a dream that was sitting on a shelf, waiting for the right time and circumstances and connections, and it seemed like it could be the right time. So I reached out to Kirstin and said, hey, what would you think of double keyed doing another album, Christmas, with Philip, but feature the London Symphony Orchestra? And that is where we pick up the story for next time. Hey, if you want to check out who we are, check out doubleKeyedmusic.com. And if you want to help us on this project, you can sign up for our newsletter on our website. You can donate to our project on our website. You can check out our schedule. We'd love to have you get tickets to our October 19th, 2025 London Conversation in Song, where you will hear Midwinter's Gift music and a sampler of upcoming album music. The truth is, the songs are done and ready to record with London Symphony. We just need the funds. We've already raised $58,000 as of today is October 11th, 2025. We need about 80,000 more to finish this project and bring it to completion. I'll tell you more about all of that in other videos, but for now you know who we are and how we got to this point. All of the stuff happening under the water of the iceberg in the 90%. Lots of connections being made, lots of details about our stories that we're learning about each other and finding out, and how MS Fit Effect fits into the story. Okay, doubleKeyedmusic.com. Check us out.